fucking shit. What's going on, Internet? Hold on, my mic was out. Holy fucking shit. What's going on, Internet? My name is Matt. Welcome back to another episode of Holy Shit, and it's the second one I'm recording where Carlos Correa signs with the Twins. He's back. He's back. 6 years, 200 million with some vesting options. I can bump it all the way up to 270, which is huge. $33.3 million a year, the biggest, most insane contract the Twins have ever given out. The 6 years is nuts. The whole situation is nuts. Now, preface this is pending a physical. However, this physical has been already pretty much almost entirely done by the Twins. They just have to take a few more looks at him. They're comfortable with his ankle. They know what they had last year. They understand the plate in his ankle that gave him an exit examination, which is what happens when a player leaves the free agency. It's kind of a necessary thing to do to protect them for insurance reasons or something. I don't know. Regardless, Carlos Correa is back in the Minnesota Twins, and I could not be fucking happier. I swear that this, like last night, Ken Rosenthal, Dan Hayes, and Ken Rosenthal, the two of the sources I trust. There's not many accounts that I trust for this kind of shit. Two of the people I trust the most to break news tweeted that the Twins and Correa the Twins were accelerating talks with Correa, which basically means that talks were heating up. They were ramping up. They were getting close. Something was bound to happen. Now, I still didn't believe it. My faith was wavering. In fact, I think it was pretty much dead at that point. I was convinced he was going to be a Met. Well, but he's not. He's a fucking Minnesota Twin again for the next several years of his career. Like I'm probably more excited about this than I was last year. See, last year it came out of the blue now, and well, okay, maybe not, because last year it was just so out of the blue that like I was literally shaking. I couldn't focus on anything. I just wanted to sit on Twitter and scroll, and I just wanted to do stuff. Now, of course, this video is much more chaotic than the one last year, because last year, I had to record the next day because he signed at 2 a.m. He actually signed it, 11 at 11 with my Twins. I didn't think it was a shot in the hell he was coming back. I mean, I did. Of course, I kind of believed it from the beginning. It just makes too much sense here. It just makes too much sense. It's like you can't have a guy like that on your team, and then him having, like, obviously, he got a shitload of money from the Giants. They didn't like his physical. Got a shitload of money from the Mets. They didn't like his physical. And so now he ends up on the Twins again. The team, I would imagine, that he did want to be with the entire offseason. The team that he would have wanted to come back to. This isn't like a okay, yeah, these guys are my last options. No one else has really talked. No, this is he wanted to be here the entire offseason. The Twins just didn't have a play yet. They just didn't have a play yet. They didn't have an in on him because they weren't going to offer over $300 million. Why would they offer over $300 million for a guy that they've never offered over $300 million for a player? No, I think they should have. I think they should have given him I think they should have matched the 300, 310. Or they should have matched with the 315 on the Mets after the Giants. But it sounded like, they weren't even given a shot to do that. They weren't given a shot. So it sounds like maybe they would have, maybe they could have had they been given the shot. Maybe they would have thrown in some other language and got, like they did with this deal, creative with it. And like what the Mets tried to do. if they had been given the shot, they probably would have offered him 300 million for 10 years. Now that would have been pending the physical. Of course, as we know, it probably wouldn't have been accepted. But I can imagine in a world if that did happen, I would have been confident in the Twins' ability to, you know, get a deal done, lower the deal and get it done like they did. Like they have. Like Carlos Correa is back. Byron Buxton is hyped about it. He's been tweeting. I can't imagine what Jose Miranda thinks, and Luis. Like this is just so cool. And it just makes so much sense with a kid like Royce Lewis coming up in your farms or coming up, and he's going to be hurt, but you got the perfect mentor for a young guy right there. And in 6 years, Royce Lewis is still a young guy. He will only be about this. He won't. How old is Royce Lewis? If because Royce Lewis is not old. He was drafted only a few years ago by the Twins as the first overall pick out of high school. And so, like, this is crazy for him. Yeah, he's 23. In 6 years, he'll be 29. He'll be the same age as Carlos Correa. What a perfect player to hand the reins over at a position, a premier position. And this opens up avenues for you to potentially trade someone like Royce Lewis. Now, you won't. But guys like Brooks Lee and Royce Lewis become available. Austin Martin becomes immediately available to a team that would love him. A team like, the Marlins, who have so much pitching, who have all the pitching in the world, they might love to have him. So, like, this is just insane. I woke up this morning not expecting to see anything. I went to bed last night. Now, I went to bed very late. I couldn't sleep. Partly because of the excitement of Ken Rosenthal and Dan Hayes' tweets. But I woke up this morning expecting nothing. Literally expecting nothing out of the Twins on this front, expecting nothing at all. I didn't see a world where the Twins get this done. I didn't see this coming. I actively didn't see this coming. Like, that's what's crazy. I don't know. There's this weird thing where if I'm not expecting something, then it happens. If I'm expecting it, it never happens. It'll never happen. Except for, the moves that teams do make. Like the Twins have a few more holes to fill, and so I expect them to fill those holes regardless. Carlos Correa is a fucking Twin again. I could not be happier. Like, this is phenomenal. I got my Twins hat on. I thought about wearing my Correa jersey, but I didn't. It's just hanging up in my closet since there's no voice. If there was a camera, 100%, you'd be seeing me in my full get up. We're gonna get a camera eventually for this. Holy shit! I cannot believe this just happened. I am blown away. I'm baffled. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. Like, last year on March whatever, when he signed, it was the same thing happened to me. I was at a loss for words. But, like, I don't know, man. This is wild. I did see a meme. This funny meme of it was like it was a Rick and Morty bit. It was the scene in Rick and Morty on the Unity episode when Rick is hanging out with Unity and another hive mind stops by. So Unity is a hive mind that's taken over a planet. Another hive mind stops by. And so Rick had the Mets and Mets and Giants, pasted over him. Unity was Carlos Correa, and the other hive mind was the Twins. The Beta 7 hive mind was the Twins. And it was something like, "Oh, he's not coming here. Look at this meme. He's not going to be here. He's not coming back." And And I'm just thinking, well, how hilarious is this meme? Because when you think about it, this whole saga mirrors that episode almost perfectly. Because Correa signs, or Correa opts out of his contract with the Twins. Now, that doesn't really parallel anything in the episode. But he signs with the Giants, who is Rick in this case. And of course, Carlos Correa being Unity. And they're having a party, they're having a blast, a lot of money involved. They're having a great time. Well, then the issues with the physical pop up and yada yada, and then Craig goes to the Mets, who's also Rick. Adding the third element, adding a second team in there doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but bear with me. Goes to the Mets. Well, they balk at his physical. And then since it takes them, however long to, try to figure this out. Well, he just ends up going back to the Twins anyway, which is exactly what happens in the episode with Unity. Unity and Rick have a great time partying and, doing all this fun stuff, getting drunk and, doing drugs and all this crazy stuff in the episode. And at the end of the episode, Unity just straight up leaves Rick, who in this case was the Mets, and Correa leaving which is similar to Correa leaving the Mets and the Giants, and goes with Beta 7, who of course in this case are the Twins. It's so funny that how well that parallels this whole scenario. I was thinking about that after I saw that meme. Like, holy shit. What a parallel. But my God, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. I'm crying. Tears of joy. I'm speechless. Whatever analogy you want, or whatever you want to say, from whatever one you prefer for how happy I am. Oh my God. I just want to end this by saying, as well, I got a couple more notes I want to add. First, Carlos Correa, I love you. You are a legend. I'm so glad you're staying in Minnesota. I'm really, really happy that you're going to be here long term, and that I really hope you come to Twins Fest. I have a jersey. I'm going to be wearing it at Twins Fest if I go, hopefully. Got to figure out the dates again. And the second thing I want to say, on a more serious note, off topic, I just want to say my thoughts and prayers are with Liam Hendriks of the Chicago White Sox, who was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is very aggressive, nasty type of cancer. I don't know if it's caught in the early stages. I haven't heard anything about it other than the fact that he has it. Liam Hendriks, of course, is a former Twin and a legend, former Oakland A. Became one of the best closers in all of baseball and has been for the last couple of years. So my thoughts, all our thoughts here at CyberTwits are with him. And I also want to say, since this is holy shit, not specifically a ballpark, thoughts and prayers are also with Damar Hamlin, who went down a few weeks ago, playing football for the Buffalo Bills. He took a shot to the chest, which stopped his heart. He takes a shot to the chest, collapses on the field, and his heart was stopped. He had to receive CPR, and so our thoughts and prayers are with him for his full recovery. With all that said, holy shit, Carlos Correa is a Minnesota Twin. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of Holy Shit. We will be back with a bad ping as well. We'll be doing that later. later today, and Adam's gonna be hitting up a roll up later today. So got a lot of videos coming down for you in the stretch here, and I'm probably gonna be doing a ballpark within the next week or so to hype up the off season and talk about all the moves that have made up all the moves that have been made up to this point in the off season. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe. Tell us your thoughts, I guess, if of the tell us your thoughts in the comments of the Carlos Correa deal and all that fun stuff. Holy shit, I am so incredibly happy. Like I honestly kind of feel like crying. Thank you, and catch y'all on the flip side. This is all dead air. Megan could to edit this out, but I think it's